Hello. Today we're going to continue on with our work in financial maths, and all we're looking at is some two new definitions. So what I've done is written down the definitions we're going to be working through today, and you'll find them written out more neatly in page 49 in your textbooks. So we already know this one. Profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. This is simply the English language definition of profit that you all already know. Now, likewise, we'll have to rearrange this logically from time to time. Say the selling price would be your profit plus your cost price. So we'd need to know that as well. But again, they're just the definitions of words you already know in English. There's nothing new here. Now, what is new in terms of our language is markup. So markup is just another name for percentage profit. It's just the profit divided by the cost multiplied by 100. But they can give you this word markup in the exam instead of saying percentage profit. So you already know this one. It behaves exactly like percentage profit because it's the same formula with a different name. But we need to know if they say markup in an exam that it means profit divided by cost. They're not required to give you that formula in the exam. And likewise with margin, which is a little bit new, we have profit divided by selling price as opposed to profit divided by cost, which is what we're used to at the moment. So margin is really the only new thing today, and we're required to know that it's profit divided by selling price all over multiplied by 100 over 1. And I've written them out in algebraic form here as well. Now, all we're going to do is practice using these formulae a little bit. So we're going to start by having a look at page 52, question 1, part 1. So we're not given much of a story in this case. We just have to calculate profit, markup and margin for several different cost prices and selling prices. And I'm going to do part 1. So our cost price, write down the information you are given. Your cost price is €10 and your selling price is $12.50. Euro sign. So I write down the information I'm given, and then the first part I'm asked about, part A, I'm asked for the profit. So I'm going to write down my profit formula. My profit is equal to my selling price minus my cost price. And then I sub into that formula. My profit in euro is going to be selling price of $12.50 minus €10. So my profit in question 1, part 1 is €2.50. So that's part A. That's getting the profit, which we already know how to work through. Then in part B, it asks us for the markup. The markup is our new name for percentage profit. So we're going to write down our formula again. So markup is going to equal profit over cost multiplied by 100 over 1. Subbing into our formula, we would have our profit we just worked out is $2.50. Our cost price is €10 multiplied by 100 over 1. We get that we have a markup of 25%. When we put this in the calculator, we get 25% is our markup, and that could also be called percentage profit. And then part C, we're looking at margin, so we write down the formula for margin. In every question we're going to do this so that it gets stuck in our head, and also it's the structure required for your exams. So it's going to be profit divided by selling this time, multiplied by 100 over 1. Our profit we worked out in part A is $2.50. Our selling price we're given is $12.50. So it's going to be $2.50 for our profit divided by $12.50 for our selling price multiplied by 100 over 1. And when we put that into our calculators, we get 20%. So that's how our formulas work. And we need to be quite comfortable with them because we're going to have to rearrange them quite a lot in some of these questions. For example, in question 2. if we want to have a look here, we have calculate the cost price of each of the following products to the nearest cent. So I'm going to do part 1, which is our DVD player or DVD. And I'm going to write down what I'm looking for and what I'm given. So I'm looking for the cost price. My selling price is $19.99. And my margin is 30%. Now I'm going to write down any formulas that I know that are connected with the pieces of information that I've got. So now my margin is equal to my profit divided by my selling price multiplied by 100 over 1. I know that. And I also know that my selling price would be equal to my profit plus my cost, which is, if you like, a rearrangement of this formula, or is just simply the definition of our selling price. What we sell something for is going to be the profit we make on it plus whatever it costs us to get. So those are all of the formulas that we have connected with the information that we're given. So let's see if we can rearrange some of this to make some progress. So I know the selling price. I want the cost price. So I'm definitely going to want this formula here. But at the moment, I don't know what my profit is. So if I go back to my other formula, I know the margin and I know the selling price. So I'll be able to find the profit using this formula and then sub back into this formula to find the cost price. So let's take this formula here and start doing some rearranging to get what we need. So again, write down each piece of information you're given in the question, write down any formula connected to it, and if you do that, you should be able to make progress in the question and get things sorted. So I'm going to write down that my selling price is $19.99, just to remind myself of the fact that I know that already. And now I'm going to rewrite my formula here. So 30% is equal to profit divided by selling multiplied by 100 over 1. I know what my selling price is. It's $19.99, so I'm going to sub that in. 30 is equal to profit divided by $19.99. This is just rearranging a formula to get P by itself. And multiplied by 100 over 1. Now, I have a little bit of rearranging that I need to do here. So if I divide both sides by 100 in order to get rid of the 100 here, so divide both sides by 100. That's going to isolate P a little bit more. So I'm going to have 0.3 is equal to P all over 19.99, €19.99. And now I want to get P by itself. So when I do that, I multiply both sides by 19.99 to get P by itself. And I find that my profit ends up being 5.997. So now I know what P is, which was the piece of information I was missing here in order to be able to find my cost price. So now that I know P, I can sub it into this formula here and solve to find my cost price. So P plus C, selling price, is equal to profit plus cost. We know that that is equal to selling price, so that's $19.99, and I now know that P is 5.997. 1997 plus C is equal to 1999. Subtract 5.997 from both sides to get C by itself, to get the cost price by itself. When I do that, I get C is equal to 13.993. And as this is money, we're going to round that to 2 decimal places, and we're going to use our euro sign to make sure we get all of our marks. This is going to be €13.99 is my cost price. And that's all we need to do for these questions. If you follow this structure, write down each piece of information you're given in the question, write down any formulas that are connected, and see what it is that we can rearrange in order to find what we are looking for. So if we follow this structure, you'll be able to do the questions. If you attempt to skip steps, it will get very confusing.